And this is the hardest thing in the world, and I know this is a fact. You cannot control other people. I promise you that. I've tried. I've tried it personally. I've tried it in my career. You can't do it. But what you can do is you can control your reaction to them. Because if they try to pick on you and they see that you're not breaking, that they're not getting to you, then you're going to win. And they're going to give up. And they're going to go on to someone else. Because bullies aren't the brightest. They're not the most persistent people. They see that little resistance. They're like, all right, I'm done with this guy. I'm going to go find someone else. But to go a step further, there's absolutely three things, only three things in your life that you can control. And I want you to really think about this. This is deep. Your preparation, your effort, and your attitude. As I like to call it, your P. You can control your P. And I'll give you an example to something, because I took a shot at the Eagles earlier. I'm going to bring it back full circle. Carson Wentz is a perfect example of that. All right? He's a remarkably talented young man as a quarterback, potentially leading the Eagles to the Super Bowl. But he didn't just do it because he was tall and athletic. He did it because he has superior preparation. He cannot control the other team. He can't control the weather. He can't control the officiating. He can only control how he prepares every single week. And the same applies to each of you in school and as athletes, in the band, whatever you do. Next is your effort. Your effort is 100% in your control every single day. And let me tell you this, there is nothing worse as a parent, as a coach, as a sales manager, than somebody that doesn't put forth maximum effort. And then they complain that they didn't get the results they wanted. That's unacceptable. You control your effort. And finally is your attitude. You guys will not forget this next sentence, but your attitude determines your altitude in life. And whether you think you can do something or whether you think you can't do something, you're right. So control your P every day. Next, anger. Any of you guys angry? You have a lot of anger, sadness, frustration inside of you that you're carrying around? I know. Believe me, I had it inside of me for a long time. I'm sure some of it's directed at your parents, some of it's directed at your teachers, some of it's directed at your friends, but it's inside of you. And I'm here to tell you to let it go. Now, I always believe you need to have a little chip on your shoulder. Like Michael Jordan's a perfect example. He was cut from his basketball team as a sophomore in high school. I think he turned out all right. So you need to have that chip on your shoulder. But having a chip on your shoulder and having anger inside of you are two completely different things, because the anger will eat you up from the inside out. And I had mine for a long time. And about 6 months ago, a good friend of mine inspired me to go on to Facebook, do a live video, and tell my bullying story. And I did. And I cried on camera in front of all my friends and contacts. And I got over 7,000 views. It was the most I've ever gotten. You guys have anywhere near that on any of your videos? No, I'm just kidding. But 7,000, and the reason it spoke to people is because everybody has had that feeling. But as soon as I was done and I turned off that camera, I just cried because I could feel the anger leaving my body. And I'm so mad at myself that I carried it around for so long, because I feel like I missed out on so many great things and I pushed people away who could have been so great for me. Next, laugh at yourself first. The one thing above everything else that I learned to do was to laugh at myself. Self-deprecating sense of humor. Because what I found, I said, all right, I narrowed it down. These guys are going to make fun of the size of my head, the size of my ears, the size of my nose. I can handle that. So I started thinking of all the funny stuff that they could possibly say to me, and I would beat them to the punch. And then they would try to say something, and everyone else would be like, well, that wasn't funny. And they'd laugh at what I said more. And what happened was, it took away their power again. They had no recourse. Because if I'm funnier than them and my jokes about myself are funnier and I'm laughing at myself, what are they going to do? And this is a rough ride we got here, gang. Life is not easy. There's a lot of challenges along the way. And if you don't learn to laugh at yourself, it's going to be a lot harder for you. Don't allow the other person to win. Smile, laugh, and walk away.